Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and finally, welcome to COD World War II. This was actually like my third game on after getting it, or something like that, and didn't realize I was recording, so finally I turned the record button on, and here we go. This is a little team deathmatch on Gibraltar, so I hope you enjoy that. Now, I wanted to give my first impressions out as quickly as possible. Right now, I wanted to make a quick video on COD World War II before I go back into the grind, because there's a ton of stuff I have yet to unlock. And there's a lot more to learn, and I really want to get to know this game, because I would say that as of right now, in terms of first impressions, there are a lot of good things as well as a lot of bad things and some broken things, actually. And I'm going to go into the most broken thing here in a little bit. But one thing I wanted to tell you a couple things that you guys should be aware of, whether or not you've bought the game already or whether you're not aware of it yet because you just haven't had time to play it or play it as much. So here are my first impressions. Now, first thing I want to say is that I'm not going to be talking about how the game servers couldn't go online for the first few hours or whatnot, or how the game can just lag out and it'll take you back into the main menu or whatnot. I'm not going to talk about that because that's kind of to be expected or not expected, actually, because you would think that, well, Sledgehammer would, or not Sledgehammer, but Activision would, be better prepared after all these years, but yet it happens again and again. And anyway, let's not turn this into a rant video. Now, the basic first impression is that, first of all, there are a lot of good guns in this game. A lot of good guns. So Sledgehammer has definitely improved. I've been using the SMGs. I've been using the ARs because that's primarily what I use. But I've seen people use sniper rifles and do work with them. I've seen people do the same thing with shotguns. So I'm not exactly sure on the balance, except for the fact that basically there are a lot of good weapons and that it is better balanced than Advanced Warfare. I will say that. The spawns are okay, but they don't flip very easily, which could lead to spawn trapping problems. Yes, there is sound whoring in the game, so as soon as you guys can unlock that mountain division all the way up through level 4 to where you get basically silent footsteps, because you are basically going to get absolutely pooped on. And if that wasn't enough, I wanted to say something right now that you guys need to be aware of in case you're not already, and that is the espionage basic training. It is basically broken at this point, because especially in free-for-all more than anything, basically what it does is if you have it on, and if somebody on your team or you injure somebody, they fire a gun at them but don't finish them off, they will show up on the mini-map for at least 5 seconds. And not only that, it's going to be like a VSAT, and if that weren't enough, the entire team can see them. Now, the only thing that they can't tell when it happens is which direction you're looking at. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's balanced, because it's absolutely broken. So if you get shot in this game, and there are a lot of people using espionage, especially since it's the first basic training perk as well, everybody's gonna be using it, and in free-for-all it is absolutely broken. So but the thing is, though, if they fix that, which I'm sure they will sooner or later because it's absolutely ridiculous, but when it does get fixed eventually, or nerfed, or whatever it is, it depends on what they do to nerf it or how much they're going to nerf it. But when it does happen, I will say that before I got my hands on the game itself, that with all the different divisions and basic training perks or skills or whatever you want to call them, there's tons of variety to be had, and I can understand where they're going with it, because they don't want to give you that many crouch perks, or they want to give you more variety. And when espionage gets fixed, and man, let me tell you something, if there was no sound whoring, if this was like Black Ops 2 or Advanced Warfare, there would be even more variety in terms of what I would personally choose in my classes. But since there is sound whoring in the game, and since espionage is also broken, and there's a couple of other things that I haven't played with yet, and there's a couple of basic training perks that are similar to a couple of divisions, so I got to play with those out and do a little mix and match and see and see what I can get from that. But as of right now, one more thing that I want to say is the maps. Now, most of the maps, actually, out of the 9, and I'm going to say 9 because I haven't downloaded, even though I pre-ordered, I haven't downloaded the 10th one yet, but the maps, they're a little bit larger they're on the medium, like small to medium size, but some of them are a little bit larger than you would like. Maybe it's because we're just not used to boots on the ground after all these years with jetpacks, but there's a couple of them like Gustav Cannon. That map is just ridiculously large with the big ass cannon in the middle. I mean, it looks great. I mean, obviously, but it's just a little way too big in my opinion. But you gotta have a big map, so I'm actually surprised that it's in the free-for-all playlist. Score streaks, I have yet to use them all, but it looks like that the paratroopers can definitely do work because somebody called in a paratrooper on me not too long ago today, and it did work. And so we will see what more happens. I haven't seen all the kill streaks yet, or the score streaks. So UAV does what the UAV does. Everything else. I mean, it seems like the score streaks have been slightly buffed. There's the missile that's kind of like the Predator missile. And I'm sorry, I don't fully know the names of all this stuff yet, and I apologize if I'm kind of, just being all over the place with this commentary, but I have so many mixed thoughts, and on top of that, I haven't gotten much sleep, so I apologize, but I wanted to get this out to you guys. And one other thing is that the connection right now obviously isn't at its best. There are times when it's really good, and the hit detection, the bullet registration is spot on, and at the same time, there are other moments where it's just like, what? So yes, lag compensation is in this game. It always has been in every single Call of Duty, and there's no difference in that here. So there is that. But there is one thing that I will to tell you, that as of right now, in terms of first impressions, this game has tremendous potential, but it also has tremendous potential to make a lot of people angry if some of the stuff doesn't get fixed and changed or whatnot. So the only way to truly do a perfect review of the game is to at least spend like 3 weeks to a month with it, at least. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a video for 3 weeks to a month. But as of right now, for a few more days, there may not be more content, just so you guys know, because I need to learn this game. And right now, a couple of things that I have learned is that espionage is broken, and there is sound whoring. And ever since I kind of put my headset on and slowed down a little bit before I got the level 4 unlocked for the Mountain Division, things have been getting better. Now that I'm totally silent, things are getting even way better. So I'm winning free-for-all games and all that good stuff now. And I'm aware of the espionage perk, even though there's no counter. But I think if you play team-based games, it won't be quite as bad because you'll have other teammates that are kind of there as well that make a difference. But in free-for-all, you're gonna run into some cheap stuff. So if you're a free-for-all lover, and if you're not running Mountain class up through level 4, and if you don't have espionage on, you're gonna struggle. I hate to say it, but it's absolutely true. Even noobs will tear you apart, and I know this from personal experience. So there was a lot of mixed emotions last night. I will say that for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little first impressions. And as of right now, it is too soon to have a final say. But again, like I said, there's potential. So that's all I pretty much wanted to say. I wanted to give you guys a couple of things that you should be aware of, and I'm sure you wanted to know my thoughts so far in the game. So let me know in the comment section what your experience is, and let me know if this helped you at all. So, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one after I'm done grinding some more.